Hi guys, welcome back. It's time for another of our mini lessons. Today we're talking about story mapping, and we're going to do our story map based on our book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So, first, the setting. Well, there are two places they are. They're in Kansas, which is gray, and Oz, which is colorful. So you don't have to do every single place. Like we don't have to do the land of the Munchkins. We don't have to do the land of the Winkies. We can just pick the full overarching lands. But it's nice to point out that it starts in Kansas, and then we go to Oz. Characters. There's a lot of characters. But what we want is the main characters, the ones the story is really about. So we have Dorothy. And then she has 4 friends. She first meets a scarecrow. Then she meets a tin man. Then a lion. And the whole time with her, she has Toto, her dog. Now, there are 2 other really important characters. One is the one who sets them up with all that they're trying to find, and that's the Wizard of Oz. And one is the one they have to fight, and that's the Wicked Witch. You could add in more and more characters if you want. If you can remember all of them, you could list them all. But we really want the main characters. Honestly, we don't even need the wizard or the witch because the whole story is about Dorothy and her 4 friends. So we have Dorothy, Toto, Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, the Wizard of Oz, and the Wicked Witch, according to me. Now the beginning. In the beginning, Dorothy is caught in something. What is it? A cyclone. Caught in a cyclone and brought to Oz. Okay, so the beginning of the story is Dorothy is caught in a cyclone and brought to Oz. The middle. Well, there's a lot of things that happen in the middle. You can pick just one thing, or you can try to describe everything. If you're picking just one thing, you could say Dorothy's house landed on one of the witches and killed them. If you wanted to pick an overarching thing, which means that something that fills in pretty much what happened in the middle, is Dorothy makes friends and goes on scary adventures. That describes every single thing that happened to Dorothy in the middle of the book. She makes friends, which would be the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, even the Winkies and the Good Witches all count as friends. And scary adventures, that's her fighting against the Khalids and the Wicked Witch, and even meeting Oz and trying to fill in his quests. And in the end, what's going to happen? Everyone gets their wish, and Dorothy goes home. So, in the end, everybody was going on this adventure so that first the Scarecrow could get a brain, the Tin Man could get a heart, and the Lion could get courage. And Dorothy always wanted to go home. So in the end, everybody got what they wanted. And Dorothy ended up able to go home. So this was a really long, big story, but we could easily break it down into these simple parts. Kind of cool, huh? Now, if you want to be literal, and that means that you're only picking something that exactly happens in the book, rather than picking a particular thing, you can just go to the beginning of the book and write down the first thing that happened. Dorothy lived in the midst of the great Kansas. That's the first thing. You could go in the middle of the book and pick something that happened. Dorothy and the Scarecrow walk through the forest. And then you could pick the last thing that happens. Dorothy said, "Oh, Aunt Em, I'm so glad to be home again." It's still the same idea. You're still picking things out from story. But when you go like that, does it tell you what actually happened in the story? Not really. But if we expand and give a rough idea, we can see everything that happened in the story in a very short glimpse. All right, so this is an idea of how to create a story map and to use your brain to come up with the best scenario. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you soon.